right, Mr. Steve, we are rolling.
Uh-oh. Let's see if I can. 7 months and counting. What's up, Pack? I added that one in.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Ask the Pack Leader Show. It has been a little bit of time since our last filming of this show. I think it's been, 6-7 months now since we shot this thing.
Yep.
And we wanted to bring it back. This is a very impromptu, typical of me. A call to or a text to Adam early this morning saying, hey, let's shoot an Ask the Pack Leader. Meanwhile, he's been asking me to we should start shooting that show for
for a minute.
For a few months now. He's been saying, we got to get back into that. I'm like, yeah, we do.
But listen, if Steve hits you up in the morning and you've been asking him to do a podcast, you jump at the opportunity.
Yeah, we
made it happen.
I was in the mood. I was like, these puppies are getting old. I was like, we got to shoot something here so we can actually capture them at a young age. And it's one of those things where this is a perfect example for you guys. It's me getting in my head, and this is something we were talking about prior to this when it comes to actually shooting content. I get in my head, guys, because I get in my head trying to think about what it is that you guys want to see. So I was actually telling Adam, I was like, I need your help, dude, to help me what does the public really want to see more of, right? So something we're going to start doing in these podcasts is putting some chapters we're going to start doing, right? Yep. That'll have the questions, so you guys can come and just go right to a question. Because I know sometimes I get going and rambling and it goes a little bit long on the subject where you got the point that you wanted, but you want to go to the next question. So we'll have chapters added in. But yeah, the goal here again is to educate you guys. Again, this is not something that right in this moment we're getting paid to do, but this is part of the mission, right? Is to actually, I'm getting paid and being able to talk about what I want to do for my life. This is my passion. So I get to talk about it. So I am getting paid, just not financially. I'm getting paid in, honestly, joy of getting able to do this. This is considered work for me today, is to come talk to you guys about dogs.
What we should call it is the happiness dividends.
The happiness dividend? I don't get it.
You get paid in dividends and happiness
exactly,
over time.
Exactly. I get a little bit of
Sorry, that's like a stock.
No, but it's true. The dividends come from me when I get the videos of the people and it shows them the dog was acting like this and then it's acting like this. That's one of my favorite things for the video calls, for the virtual training, when people call and we do an hour call. And it's something it's a situation just like this, where I would be sitting here talking to you on the screen and we're going over everything about your dog. And then I get the video, a week, 2 weeks, a month later of the dog walking great on leash, or it's not doing that behavior it used to do, or now people are coming over when they couldn't. And that's all through virtual, just talking about this stuff. So that's another. We have that option available for virtual training if you want to talk to me one-on-one. I like having fun with that shit too. You guys don't know much about that because I don't post that stuff because we keep that stuff private. That's very private. The virtual consultations. There's a lot of private stuff that happened throughout the sessions too that we don't post. So we always want to, discuss with our clients and let them know we're going to be filming stuff, but we always make sure that it's not anything personal or private that they're going through or experiencing that we're sharing with the public. It's always something that we make sure they are okay with us sharing. And we explain to them that the reason that we share it is not just to toot our own horn, hey, look at how good we're doing. We want people to see what's possible and what can happen. And that person who, let's just say, that client was watching a video and they see something like themselves in that video, and then they're like, I can do this too. I believe. Because remember, it's all in the mind. Can you do it? The belief. A lot of people's mind right away rejects. Hey, so today we're going to walk by dogs. Oh my God, no way. My dog's going to go crazy and lose his mind. Well, if that's your initial thought right away, that's what's going to likely happen. So it's all about what do I believe is going to happen? What is the belief? If the belief is that it's going to be a big freaking meltdown reaction, of course the fucking dog's going to react. But if the belief is, no, from this point forward, my dog is not going to react. You still may have times of the dog reacting due to old conditioning, but you are now officially on your journey to your dog not reacting. The hard part is that humans want their result right in the moment. So you're like, all right, I changed my mindset. How come the dog's not doing it in 1 second? Well, it takes a little bit more effort. So that's another lesson the dog is teaching you about is effort. And life takes effort into doing things. Should we just get right into the questions?
Let's do it.
I want to point out also, I got Nico up here. We got our new puppies up here and stuff too. We'll bring them on at some point for the show. A lot of stuff going on since the last one.
Yeah, that's actually the first question there.
So Carissa says, what's up, guys? What have you been doing? How's it going? There you go. So how's it going? There's a perfect example. Good question for the first one. What has been going on? So the last one was 7 months ago, which would be summer, right? So we were in the summer, and in the summer, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because in the summer we got the well, it wasn't actually the summer when we got them. I got them in September, right?
Yeah, we got them in September.
October.
Pups came in September.
June 21. June, July, August. Yeah. I don't know. It was September. Yeah, they got them first week of September because they were born in July. Okay. So why don't we show them? Where are they actually? Dawson. Let's show Dawson first. Dawson boy. Come here, buddy. Yes. So this is Dawson. Believe it or not, Dawson and Marty both have the same birthday. So why don't you show everybody?
What we've been up to is Steve's been making puppies.
Yeah, I've been just making puppies. So this is Dawson boy. Here, I'll put him up here first. So, and then we'll get Marty too. Come here, Marty. I don't know. You're too big already. I wish we would have filmed this a little bit earlier. Shh. No, don't jump off, bro.
He did it already.
Small. I know. He's like, I'll
jump
jump off.
already.
Here, and then come with your brother. This is Marty. Okay, Dawson left. As you can see, my puppies aren't very insecure about me doing things. So Marty's big ass is gonna come on here. He's now 5 months. This dude, and you'll see the here. Come here, Dawson. Go up and let's see if he just goes right back off again. He probably will, but.
Good boy, Dawson.
Yeah, it's gonna hang out. And look, Nico, come here, buddy. Come here. Where are you? Can you show everybody? Yeah, show everybody. Yes, there's the big boy. This is who you've been raising. Yes, and you guys know Nico. Obviously, he's been helping me raise the puppy. So, okay, so the stories on these guys. Let's get these guys out of the way. Marty, you're gonna knock everything over, Bulldog. Come here, buddy. Hey, come here. He's having too good of a time.
Marty's the best.
Come here, big man. Oh my God, you're heavy, bro.
Marty was a lot of fun when we were out there in California with him.
Come here, Dawson boy. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about these guys for a second. Am I in it?
Not really. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
How's that?
Better. You're good right there.
To the thing. Can you hear me good?
Yep,
no?
I can hear you.
So how did I get these pups? So after Maddie passed, obviously how ridiculous how this guy looks like Maddie, by the way. Isn't it ridiculous? After Maddie passed, we were considering getting another American Bulldog. We had been looking for a while, and it was very challenging. So I finally said to Cassie, I said, Cass, look, I think that what we have to do is we're putting a lot of pressure into this, and we're doing a situation where we're forcing the dog to come. We're forcing an American Bulldog into our life. We're forcing the dog that we want right in this moment instead of the one that's going to come at the right time. So then all of a sudden, I said, let's just wait. Let's move away from this for a while and let's let that dog come when it comes. We put a lot of feelers out. This guy's passed out or falling asleep. So sure enough, a few weeks later comes by and they say, we have this guy available. He's supposed to be a breeding male, but only one of his testicles is dropped and we can't do that, pass that along. So he's yours if you want him. And I said, send me some videos. I saw the way he was behaving and that's what it became. Okay, you guys are tired, I know. So that's what I saw. I saw the videos. I loved it. He's the middle of the pack. I said he'll fit perfectly with Nico. So I said, yeah, that'll be great. In the meantime, while that's going on, Cassie, if you guys remember, that we had a Cavapoo, like this dude, Dawson boy. He's a good boy. I'm going to put these guys down so they can go sleep. So we had go ahead, guys. Okay. I put him down and Marty just goes to grab him to start wrestling immediately. Yeah. Hey. So in the meantime, I was looking because we had a puppy named Foxy who was a Cavapoo during Corona. It was around March of 2020 that we got the dog, and it was for our friend Hunter Pence who used to play for the San Francisco Giants. So in having that dog, we were only supposed to have Foxy for like 2 or 3 weeks for a puppy enrichment program. But due to the Corona, we ended up having it for like 8 weeks. It was like something a really long time. So we spent a lot of time with her. And remember, it was Corona, so things had just shut down. So it was just really us, Nico, and Foxy with us, right? So just looking out at the camp right now because I can't stay focused. We'll talk about Adventure Camp. That's another thing that's going on. Yep. So I ended up talking to the same lady who had given them Foxy. And I said, I'm looking for one for my pack. And Cassie, the best part is Cassie had reached out, right, trying to get one. And she's like, I want one. So she reaches out. The lady's like, yeah, we got like a year wait. And she's like, totally discouraged. Was like, whatever, fine, forget it. So I reached out and explained to her about Hunter and what I do. And she was like, oh, we'd love to get you on. And I was able to cut the line a little bit, and I had him scheduled actually, and I was planning to go to LA, and I was going to get him at the airport in LA, have him at the workshop at TCW, at the Training Caesars Way workshop, and then bring him home and surprise Cassie. So then the whole Marty situation comes about, and I'm like, shit, all right, so how am I going to get Marty and this dog in the same time while I'm in LA? So had to spill the beans to Cassie and told her, hey, you're getting a Cavapoo. After that, like, excitement wore down. Like, notice I did it before we had the dog. The excitement wore down, and I said, okay, and obviously Marty is coming too, so we're going to figure this out. So we had Dawson shipped out here to Cassie while I'm in LA. We had Marty shipped to me in LA while I'm teaching the workshop. I picked him up on day 2 of the workshop, had him with me for the last 12 days out there. Flew home with him, and then introduced the whole pack all together. And then we had Marty, Dawson, Nico together. And here we are. And Jake, we still have Jake. Jake is a senior. He's 12 years old now. So he spends time with my parents, who are also seniors. He loves being there and has a great time there. So my parents asked to take him from time to time. And it gives him a break from the young guys. He's just like, Nico is basically like, an 18-year-old, 22-year-old guy who's like, let's go, like, let's do shit at all times, And these guys are little, I would say like 12-year-olds who are like following their big brother around and thinking he's so cool and always wanting to do stuff. And Jake's like the senior who's like, can we just sit here and watch TV for a little while and have a, glass of wine kind of thing? And they're like, no, we want to go. So I give him a break and let him go to my parents. So I get I have the advantage of that. My parents understand dogs, and they love having dogs in their presence. So Jake gets some free time at the old country house. That's where Maddie used to go when I used to go away a lot. Hey, these guys are just wrestling around. I'm just making sure I'm letting them wrestle a little bit. That I don't let them get too excited inside. Hey, but there's a lot of wires, a lot of poles, a lot of things going on around here. So I'm just making, hey, so now Dawson. Eventually what we can do, Adam, we should get like a camera in the corner so we can have like the bird's eye. Mm-hmm. So people could see, like, right now, you could cut to that camera and see what I'm doing and what, like, with the dogs here, because they're just hearing it right now, obviously, obviously for the people on video.
For sure.
Okay, so that's what's been going on, was getting the puppy. So that's part. Look, I'm giving myself a little bit of a break here. That's part of the reason that we stopped shooting the show, is I was like hardcore raising these dogs, right? So I got the puppies, and you guys hear me talk about how important puppyhood is in raising a dog. So for me, I really dedicated the time and the effort into making sure these guys were getting my time and getting my full leadership in puppyhood. Because what I want to tell you guys is that it is by far the most important time with a puppy. This thing went black, by the way.
Yeah.
It is the most important time with a puppy, with a dog, is puppyhood. By far the most important time. By far. So for me, that's how serious I take it. Is I want it to be the most fulfilling time and the most time spent. So this dog really understands the leadership, because that's what he's going to download and see life
as Steve was saying, like, hey, I want to show you guys what's going on.
Yeah, so
this is just one. Yeah, this is just one example of what we can do. This is my iPhone.
Like
this is my iPhone right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
Yep.
Good.
They're those guys. This is what they're doing. They're having a little wrestling bullshit fest. Okay, that's good. So you can see that stuff too.
Awesome.
What else? So, what was I saying there before? I don't remember. The dogs, and then we're going to the puppy. Oh yeah, puppyhood, most important time by far. And then, so what we've been doing a ton of now is our puppy enrichment program, is getting dogs to come and setting that up, making that probably our most tailored program, I would say right now. That and our adventure camp program, which is the puppy stuff, is you're sending your puppy to us anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, where we're just exposing them to everything that they need, dog psychology wise, to develop into a healthy, balanced adult. And the adventure camp is then more of your management, where you did the puppy training and you've done your stuff, and now you're looking for a place for the dog to stay with you. To stay where they can continue to get better, continue to live with a pack, to be with professional dog trainers, to learn dog psychology, be fulfilled every day, body, mind, heart, every day of their life. So that's what we're doing with the adventure camp. Still doing boarding, still doing our rehab stuff. Still doing rehab stuff. That's the, dogs that have a little bit more serious issues that can't really be done in training, meaning training sessions. So those are ones like, let's just say you have a dog who's very reactive on leash, and you in my opinion, a lot of times you're going to need other dogs, and you're going to need that dog to be immersed in an experience to be able to overcome that. And then something that's the owners are included in. So those are ones where a minimum of 4 weeks, the dogs come out to us and stay out here. Humans are coming out weekly to work with their dogs. We're immersing them in just constantly being with other dogs, people, situations, just always going over all the things that they're having an issue with. And look, for the most part, we're calming dogs down and just giving them structure. That's the biggest part. And then teaching the humans how to also do that. Am I missing any other services? Boarding, camp. I love doing it. I do camp. I actually go a bunch of the days to go pick up the dogs because I love seeing the dogs, like how ready they are to go and just be worked and live a great day at the ranch. It's like the greatest thing. And this is what I'm going to tell you about this shit too. Here's another piece. Most of the world does not look. I'm talking about people within employees of my company, my own clients. Not all, again. This is some of them. Some, but the followers. People have no idea what the hell I'm doing to a degree. To a degree, I'll say. Of what we're really trying to do here, of create something. I'm going to eventually make this to be this large enclosed area that becomes a sacred place that you have to be almost have permission to come enter. And how do you get to come enter? You live the dog psychology Mother Nature way, and that gets you inside. That's really what it's going to be. I'm going to have animals here. I'm going to have the dogs here. We're going to have people here. We're going to have so much stuff that we're going to be able to help people find. So look, find balance, find themselves, find peace, find who they are, and find what the meaning of life is. But if you just have a dog where you just say, look, I just need help with someone watching my dog, we're going to have you for that. We're going to have the best possible option to have somebody to just watch your dog. If you want to say, Steve, I really want to learn about myself and become a better version of myself. Hey. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Shh. This is for the Cavapoo. So believe it or not, everyone's going to go blame the power breeds, right? Why is the power breeds picking on the Cavapoo? Well, the Cavapoo is continuously licking their face, getting in their space when they're trying to sleep, climbing on them, biting their ears, biting their neck, licking their mouths. So that's what's going to happen. They're going to say it's enough is enough. So I stopped that. That's prevention for me. I stopped because this guy is prone, the Dawson, the Cavapoo, is prone to become a little hyper and start getting these guys going, and these guys get annoyed with him. So I'm being a good leader and preventing that from escalating, putting a limit on it, and then telling him to stop. And right now he's over here laying down, and these guys stopped. So look, you had 3 dogs that were getting all rambunctious. One of them was triggering the whole thing, the Cavapoo, and you can see that. So once I stopped the one triggering it, the whole fucking thing stops. But if I went to the one who was getting the more intense, which was Marty a little bit because he was doing some growling. But if I went to go tell him to stop right there, then Dawson's just going to keep coming back and getting him going. So Marty would stop in a second, but then I wouldn't have taken care of Dawson. So look, the one who tells them to do it, no. The one who tells them to do it can also be the one who tells them not to do it. And that's our job as the leader to tell them not to do it. So if you have a pack, if you have multiple dogs, the one who's sending everybody to the front door to bark at everybody coming in, if you teach him to stop doing that, the rest of the pack is going to likely stop. And you may have one who also continues to follow through, but you'll be able to interrupt them also. Easier, I should say, in an easier way. So that was something that just happened right there. What other things? You want to do another question? I think that's really like, am I missing anything that we've been doing here? It's like really just been developing this place nonstop. It's been nonstop. Dealing with these puppies, obviously, which has been extremely time consuming because I'm making it time consuming because puppyhood is like where you should invest all your time. That's like not all, but most of the time, I should say. Invest in puppy and invest in puppy. When people get a puppy, like, and they're like, oh, I gotta go back to work and just stick them in the kennel. But it's a recipe for disaster. So anyway, getting back to what I'm really trying to do here, I'm creating a place that's going to be a one-stop shop that anybody can come and have the highest level of care for the dog possible on this planet, number one. And number two is a place where if you, the human, want to grow, we're going to have that available also for you. So if you just want your dog to have the best possible care available, that's where we'll have that for you. If you want your dog to have the best possible care available, we have that. And then if you want also to grow as a human yourself, this is going to be the place to do that in the future. And we're going to do it in a very different way. We're going to try to do it from within through nature, right? So learning through yourself, not so much learning from what other people are telling you how to do it, but really learning yourself how to do it. Because that's what I've realized is like, you know, I've told how many people, like you guys see me talking online and shit, like saying all the things to try and this and that. I'd be curious to see it of all the followers who are watching this right now. How many of you have tried a cold shower? I mean, I've been talking that shit for 2 years, right? How many of you have tried breath work in the morning? Even tried it. I'm not even saying like, yeah, I did it and committed to it. I'm saying like just attempted it. And how long have I been saying this shit? How long have I been talking about puppyhood? And how often are you guys getting puppies and petting them still, you know? And this to me is the human condition, which is, I hear what Steve's saying. It makes total sense logically. Instinctually, it makes sense. But that would be different than what I know. And the fear of doing something different causes me to not do something different and just do what I know, which is comfort zone, because I only know it. So I'll just stay in this known thing and keep doing the same thing over and over, repeating my life day after day and getting the same results, and then questioning and complaining about the results. Questioning the results, complaining about the results, blaming about other people about the results, blaming your dog about the results, blaming everything else but yourself, but the results. But the fucking answers are within. That's where they are. I'm going to keep, look, you guys don't understand my endurance when it comes to this. I'm not going to stop. So if you're going to follow the channel, you either have to like stop following us because I'm going to keep talking about this shit because that is the answer, or you're going to surrender and then just do it, which is going to mean you're surrendering to living a great life. That was good?
Yep.
Okay. Next. Let's go.
I like that you said that. You're like, this is the answer. This is the only answer. This is the same shit that I'm going to keep saying so you don't like it.
Yeah.
And you get tired of it. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully that, all right, so we got Michelle here. Michelle Pham says, physical and mental indoor exercises for when it's pouring outside. Thank you. All right. So I would say number one for me on when it comes to that is treadmill. That to me is like the most obvious one because you're getting a huge bang for your buck. You're getting physical activity. So you can make that dog walk uphill. So physically walking, I mean, just walking up a hill is challenging in itself. The psychology of it, of the dog has to focus on the treadmill. It can't get over aroused and go crazy and constantly get distracted. So it helps the mind focus. And it also opens up the door for affection too. Because if the dog is willingly doing the treadmill, like Nico loves doing treadmill. And I just come over, I give him different things. I pet him, I give him food. Sometimes I let him, play a tug thing and give him all different types of things throughout. So treadmill for sure I would say is probably the biggest one. But another one that no one talks about when it comes to this stuff is preparation, right? So we have become pretty good weather people because we're studying them, what weather does. So we know. So my point is if it's a Saturday, let's just say, and we look at the weather report and it says Sunday's going to be pouring rain all day. We're going to get, 19 in snow for the entire day. That Saturday before, we go above and beyond what we normally do with the dogs. So they're set up and fatigued for the next day because you have to remember, when the day comes when it's snowing and it's raining and it's super cold out, the dog's not going to rationalize and say, I see why we're not doing that exercise and walking today. It's because it's cold as hell out. There's snow, there's rain. You didn't have enough time, or the roads were slick, or there was danger, whatever it was. They don't understand that part. They just know that right now I feel like I have energy and I need to do something about it. So they're not going to say, well, Dawson, it's snowing outside. He's like, I don't care. I have to do something with this energy. So that's when you put him on the treadmill. But if you haven't, my point is the preparation can be done prior to that. So the day that it actually is snowing, the day that it actually is raining a lot is almost like their resting recovery day. So picture you have like a real big workout you have to do, right? I'm going to do a real big workout. That following day is usually like a rest day, right? A resting recovery day, which is not one where you're running around and wanting to get into shit and going out and, partying and doing all this stuff. It's more of staying home, relaxing, or, obviously going out and stuff, but like more of a calmer day, a more relaxed day to rest and recover. So I would set it up that way also. But treadmill is a huge one for me. Scent work you can do without a doubt. You could do scent games. You could hide things, toys, hide food, hide different things around the home, doing that stuff. What else would I do with these guys indoors? Look, you can go through some obedience. This is where training actually does come in. You can start working on some obedience commands, cleaning them up, start practicing the place, setting them to a place. Speaking of which, did we post that video yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so we're going to start releasing on YouTube a lot more YouTube video instructional videos. We actually filmed the place one where I did it with Nico, Dawson, and Marty. So you could see how we did it with different breeds, different ages. And I'm going to make these like pretty basic, the training series, the dog psychology training series, because I want them to be just the instructional. And then as time goes on, we'll start dealing with but when I go to approach, he like slams on the brakes. Like how we can like do the next phase of that, like part 2, part 3. You know,
Yeah,
the
like
problems.
Place could be its own like book, and
Yeah.
you could just keep doing chapters on it.
Yeah. So that's one. So we're gonna start doing a lot more of that instructional stuff. Because look, there's many times where I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I going to post right now? What should I talk about? What do these people want to see? You know, what does the pack need to hear right now? And it gets challenging to do. So I said to Adam prior to this, I said, what we need to start doing is start just doing tips that are like quicker tips. You know what I mean? Like quick tip stuff. Because I went around and I started seeing like, what are other people in the dog world doing? Like, what are they doing? And I started seeing like, wow, this person's got a decent amount of followers. And I watched the stuff and I'm like, look, through my lens of what I know about dogs, I'm like, it's pretty good, but it could be a lot better through that. But I do see that they're giving a ton of information here, which I like. Or I see how they did this, or I see how they did that. So I'm learning what people need to hear and see. And that's like honestly the process. So we're going to do way more of the quick tips. And that's one that always people say to me is like, can you just show me more tips and techniques along with the big picture stuff? Because I give a lot of big picture because I think that's so important. Because before we even start putting a leash on a dog and all that stuff, like to me, it's like you got to understand that dog, understand the species, understand yourself, or at least have the idea of like, I'm going to start working on myself by starting to look at myself and what do I do? And learn myself, put some effort into that. And on top of it, put some effort into seeing what is my dog telling me about myself. So another really good one. So yeah, I mean, look, to me, Michelle, I would say treadmill is probably the best thing you could be doing inside. Scentwork's another one. But you know, the reason I'm having a little hard time thinking of what are the things I do in that type of weather stuff is because those days are pretty much chill days for me because I'm doing the prevention stuff prior to. And because I live this way with my dogs on a normal basis, I mean, if you want to do the video so you can see like what these guys are doing now, indoor life for them is pretty much normal like this. Like you're going to see them when Adam pulls this thing up. I know I'm like impromptu just creating this whole thing.
It's all good. I'm gonna show them.
Because it's just one that's good for people to see like, oh, so once he told them to, of course.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
Yeah. Lay down.
Excited.
That's typical Nico, by the way. As soon as like there's transitions and
Something
people start like doing things, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get up now, you know.
Yeah. 1 sec.
There you go. Just do it in the up and down if you want. Yeah, so you can see Nico there. There's Marty. There's Dustin past that over there. That's it. So that's what's going on right now. So indoor life for these guys, and this is also, in my opinion, something that you condition and teach. So if you noticed, they started getting rambunctious up here. So they were going to say, so we want to create this association when Steve, because remember, Dawson and Marty have never been here for filming like this, right? So they're saying, well, let's just play. We'll make this place an excited thing because Steve's distracted doing this. So me as a leader, I have to put a limit on the excitement or the intensity of the play. And I basically was telling them, hey guys, not in here, not right now. And then I saw who the ringleader was, which was Dawson. So I removed him removed him, we'll put Moom over here, told them to lay down. If I had beds here, I would send them to their beds and tell them to all lay down, and then they would calm themselves. So indoors, they create this association that the studio is where we're supposed to be calm and more respectful. Got it. And the more that I drain them and then bring them here, it's going to create that association because this place is going to be a place where they rest and recover. So hopefully that made sense. Again, it's association. So what is the association inside is what I would say, right? And again, what are the things that we can do? I would say without a doubt, treadmill is like a great one. I'm actually considering getting a water treadmill that they use for rehabilitating dogs to use it but rehabilitating them psychologically. It's another thing I want to do. So more stuff to come.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Okay. How long should a puppy protest in their crate before something needs to change? That's what's up. That is what's up, isn't it? It's a good question. So how long should they be? So it really depends on that again. We should just do something where it says, like, as I start talking, as always, depends on the individual puppy. Yeah. It just pops up every question that I answer because it always depends on the individual dog. I would say for me, I'll tell you what I do. I'm way more about the setup, right? And the prevention than the intervention. So you're talking about intervention here, which means the puppy is protesting in their crate. So I would say my questions would be is I would be asking you, I would say, can you tell me exactly how it goes putting the puppy in the crate from start to finish? And what has he done prior to you deciding that you're going to put him in the kennel? Because that matters a lot to me, you know? For me, I don't really allow much protesting in the kennel, right? It also depends on the intensity. But for my own dogs, I just nipped it right in the bud. So believe it or not, Dawson was actually really good in his kennel. Nico was actually really good in his kennel. And Marty, surprise, surprise, was a little bit of a baby in his kennel in the beginning. And with him, I just nipped it right in the bud. So I had already been doing stuff with him that first day. I brought him into the kennel. He was tired as hell. When I put him in there, I spent the time. He was all great with me being there with the door closed. As I left, and then when I left, he was passed out, but then must have realized, woke up that I wasn't there. The moment that he started to he got intense with the crying. So I was like, let me see how this goes. Just cry a little bit and go away. And then it started getting 0 to 5, started getting really high. I calmly walked in, firmly, opened the kennel door, and he's like all excited, I'm going to get out. And I gave touch, said, hey. And he looked at me like, what? What was this? And then I stayed there. And then with calmness and being assertive, being confident in that moment, I said, hey. And he looked at me like, okay. But I waited. This is because, look, all I'm mimicking was what mom would do. That's all I'm doing. So he sits back all the way in the back of the kennel, sat, and then laid down. And then I said, shh. And then I closed the door. And I stayed there. I said, let's see what happens with this. He observed the whole door close. He looked at me and I said, shh. And then I started to walk away. I listened and I didn't have it anymore. So for me, I don't allow that much. But again, it's also because I'm putting a lot into the prevention side. I'm always making sure that I'm putting puppies in there when they're already fulfilled and tired. So when I would, normally, if I saw these guys, they were going to go play here, right? But let's just say I let them play and they were finishing up and I saw them starting to get a little tired. I would know the timing would be now is a good time to bring them to their kennels to make them go relax. So I'm really in the beginning trying to time it that goes with their natural naps, their natural sleep schedule, their natural wanting to rest. I try to time the kennel around that. Then as time goes on, I start bringing it a little bit away from those zones where it's not totally the exact time, not as tired. I may bring food to lure them there. So I try different things as time goes on. But for the most part, I don't allow that much, believe it or not. So again, it comes to me are you home during this? This is why I can't wait to do the Zoom ones, because this is where it's gonna take this shit to the next level. Because now I can ask her, or I can say so look, what happens with, is this when you're home or not home? Because that's a big difference, right? Well, it's as soon as I leave. Okay, so we got to figure out what about you leaving is happening? What about the separation or detachment is happening there? And I think it's gonna be really good for the public to see, or the followers to see, how I break it down. What I do in a video call. People see the before and afters and they see a lot of the tips throughout and stuff, but they don't really get to see so much of from start to how am I really trying to understand what's happening here?
All right, next question. It's such a basic one. He just stares at it.
It's tips to stay disciplined.
Currently working on that ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, to stay disciplined, this is what I'll give you my own shit on that, is focus on yourself and not others. That's the biggest thing that I can say. So the biggest error that I've made, I would tell you, in the last, pretty much the last 9 years, has been me trying to get others disciplined, trying to get others into growth mode, trying to get others to do it when I can see clearly they are not going to be doing it. And that's probably a side of me that is avoiding myself actually doing the shit of being super disciplined, because at this moment in time, I am not super disciplined of what I should be doing, although I know that I have the ability to be. And I find myself being focused on the others around me when I see it, trying to help them, because I'm if it honestly comes down to fear. And I'll tell you why. For me, the fear is not about what's the unknown.
Just don't do that to the mic. Yeah.
What's the unknown of living that way. I've done it. I've lived that life before. I've been an athlete and I've lived a very disciplined way. The part that I have the issue with is the fear of leaving the train, leaving the station, and the people around me still fucking around on the station, whatever you call it, the loading zone. Being oh yeah, I'm not ready for this whole thing. Wait, yeah, but I'm still complaining about this, and I'm not ready for that. I don't want to do that shit, and da 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 da. And my dumb ass does what? and this is not my dumbass. It's really the side of me that's the empathy, compassion side to me that actually has a fucking heart, which is like, don't leave them behind, dude. This is a pack. And this is where I really get into the conflict of business and what I'm doing in life with the dogs and teaching you guys about life and energy and the things that I've learned about myself. Is business is money, power, fame world, right? It is a world that is cutthroat, that is challenging. So to give you and me being this, trying to like give people a chance and trying to inspire people and trying to help them with their lives, it's like a very interesting dance that I play, right? Because let's just say I have an employee who's not performing as I would like them to be performing. The cutthroat business side is like, fire that motherfucker right away, get him out of here. We have business to do. We have things to do. But then what I'm doing in life side is help that person, help them see it, Where I make the error is I get too into that zone where I'm the one trying to do more of this stuff for that person than they're willing to do themselves. That's the biggest problem. Is I'm like, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, and then it doesn't happen, and then I get beat myself up. I like there's something wrong with me that prevents me from staying disciplined, from getting on my schedule and doing my things, right? So I would say that the biggest thing that I have is the issue, which is you just heard me unpack it, is I really beginning of my, like, all right, prior to the whole event that happened with me which is when I went through the whole time with my ex and breaking up and the suicidal thoughts, all that bullshit. Prior to that, I didn't give a fuck about people, but I didn't care about people doing well. I cared what people thought about me. So hopefully that makes sense. I didn't care if someone was doing good or blah, blah, blah. I cared what did they think of me and my ego. That's what was the first part. Then now I've switched to I care so much about people because I've learned to care for myself because that was what I had to do. Learn myself, trust myself, honor myself, all that. Once I've done that, now I actually really care about people and I want it so bad for people too because I know the pain that I fucking lived in and how great life is right now when I'm not living in that pain. And for me to see people making the decision to live in that pain is so goddamn hard for me to do. It's so challenging to me, especially the people who are the closest around me. And I mean, I'm still going through being like, hey, so like I'm going to make your life a lot better. And they're like, that sounds great, but I don't really want to do that. Like I'm trying to really still unpack that whole thing. Cause what I don't know is I was forced into this shit, right? So I was forced into like friends, family, like bunch of people just like cutting me off, like see you later. Of course, my close family and close friends stayed by my side for this, but a lot left and a lot were gone and like on their own type thing. So I got forced into either like, I was forced into the corner. It's like, you're either going to go left or right. Like, which one are you going to do here? And I decided luckily to move forward, but I don't know how to get someone who hasn't hit like a rock bottom or hasn't been through extreme adversity or hasn't like been through something like that to be like, I'm going to fucking make the change that I need to. It's like, that's the part that I had the biggest challenge with is like the question that I actually have about life is, do people actually need to do that? Does that actually need to happen to the person to be able to overcome? Because I've read philosophers say that they truly believe that people need to like hit rock bottom to actually like change their life. And I'm like, fuck. So if that's the case, like, I mean, I'm just wasting my time with people who haven't hit rock bottom or haven't really been to a difficult place because it hasn't got that bad or they haven't seen it enough to see that it got that bad. So their awareness isn't there to see like, fuck, shit is really like not going well for me right now. This illusion in my mind of safety and security is like, yeah, everything's going great. Everything's going awesome. I'm killing it. I'm the fucking great. But then when they go home, they're like, yeah, am I really killing it? And then they just avoid those conversations. I don't want to really talk to myself about that. Like rather just go with this illusion that I'm like the greatest or I'm the, or I can do no wrong or I can do whatever. I just didn't see myself like the old side of me. I'm like looking like at the, like, I'm just thinking, I'm like looking into like an old time of myself. I'm just like looking over there. But I remember being like it. Yeah, like the act. It's all fake. The act of having it all figured out and having it all ready to go. So getting all the way back to what I just said about discipline, it's focusing on it, I would say yourself, focusing on the self. That sounds selfish, but sometimes you have to be selfish before you can fucking help anybody else. I tried helping other people before I was actually helped myself, right? I'm still doing that to a degree, which is a challenge because I'm still growing. I'm still learning myself. And then I honestly get really frustrated, to be honest, when people around me especially my intimate pack. And then you guys like the pack who, are telling me that they want to do all this stuff, but then the actions are not there. That definitely still frustrates me. And that's my own like journey to understand that part. It's honestly comes down to acceptance and surrender. So I have to surrender to what is. So I've been fighting what I wanted things to be, which were I want to be able to grab this person without their will or without their decision to do it and say, you're going to be better now. Why would I think I could do that? Well, because I can do that shit with a dog because the dog lives in the moment. So I can I could walk into any shelter in the world right now and stick a leash on a dog and be like, today's the first day of your new life. And I don't have to ask them about their past, talk about, well, my mom said this and then I got this followers and all this bullshit that we have to go through. The dog lives in the moment, so I can do it. Of course, their conditioning and all that stuff is going to make them resist it in the beginning, but I don't need to go deal with the past. With humans, we have to deal with that shit before we move forward. So I would say to you, Pete's Pack Walks, have you been dealing with yourself? Have you looked and put the effort into understanding yourself? And that is happening at all times. So I was having things today before even shooting this podcast of saying, wow, I'm realizing right now this overthinking thing that I do. Because I honestly do get in my head, guys, of like, what is it that these people want to see? Because it means a lot to me to make sure that you guys are taking time out of your day to watch me. Like, I want to make sure I'm providing you value that really gives you guys something that can make your life better or make your relationship with your dog better. I don't want to waste time. So there was like, that's what I was saying before.
I'm sure somebody will say like a comment to this, like, it's not a waste of time. Everybody likes what you're doing, what you're talking about. So
yeah. And look, that could be another fucking side of it too, of myself, of like, yeah, people don't really find that much value in what you say, dude. Just so you know. Like that could be like,
that's self-value.
That could be chatter that's happening still that I haven't seen yet. And this is what I'm reminding everybody. As people say, oh fuck, Steve, you better go deal with that. I am. That's the thing. Every day I'm dealing with it. This is a life journey. That's the feeling people understand. That people think it's like, oh, I'm just grow this week and then I'm better. It's life. This is what life is all about, is uncovering all that shit. I just uncovered a new thing. Wow, look at this. You worry about this. You're so concerned about what these people think. Or maybe you're so concerned that your shit, what you say, is not like, people aren't going to like what it is, or they're not going to value you, or whatever it is. A self-worth thing. I don't know. But now I got some shit to look at, which is awesome because life's about growth. So now I have something to grow and learn about myself, which is what it's all about. And what did I used to do? Focus on what Adam's doing, focus on what that guy's doing, focus on what this person's doing, focus on what the dog's doing, politics was doing, they're doing, everything else but myself. And that's another thing too, is why here's another one. Why do people so scared to go do the other shit? Because they don't know themselves. So it's like, I hate my job. Well, then why don't you fucking quit? Because if they were honest, they would say, because Steve, I don't know myself. I don't know what the fuck I could do if I wasn't doing this. I don't spend any time learning myself. So I'm terrified of going over there. But me, I'll fucking shut this shit down today and start a brand new business. Why? Because I've done the work and I trust myself. You know what I mean? All right, let's start a marketing media company tomorrow morning. I'm like, let's go it. And we'll make it happen because I believe in myself. I know I can do it. I've proven to myself that I have the endurance to do this business thing. I've proven to myself that I have the resiliency to deal with adversity, which is, by the way, a huge one in life, which I feel people are. I mean, this has been 7 months, guys. So just bear with me in this shit. Is I believe that people literally live their lives trying to avoid adversity, challenge, anything that brings any sort of challenge, because they just want shit the easy way. So they don't build up any resiliency. So when shit gets a little fucking hard, they're like, oh my God, my dog's not listening on the second time I tried. Okay, so try the third time or the fourth time or the fifth time or the 17th time or the 652nd time. That seems like a lot of work, Steve. I know. That's what life is all about. Just so you know. So that, like, again, it comes back to the self, and people, I'm really trying to understand like how, or let's just put it this way, not understand, trying to articulate how I can share this with you guys. Cause what honestly gets in the way of all this shit is fucking language. That's honestly what gets in the way of me trying to explain all this stuff of like it's like, I want to like come here and let me like, let's use this language thing to get you to feel and see this thing in the real world. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest fucking thing that is challenging for me. But again, staying disciplined, the way I see discipline is it's a muscle that has to be worked. So how does it get worked? Right in that moment, well, look, the first rep of doing a bicep curl is fucking, give me this thing. Boom. That's easy to do it. So that's like day one of I'm going to start doing breath work every day. Now you're getting to the later reps of that shit, and that's when it starts getting tired. And that's where you have to, the muscle gets built by everything saying quit, give up, but the discipline, which is the weakness of that muscle, but your spirit is overriding that thing. You're overriding body, mind. It's really the way I see it. It's saying, nope, body and mind, we're going to finish doing this. I know you think you have to give up now because we're going to die, but we're not. And mind, and body, I know you're feeling this level of fatigue, but you can do more even though you think you can't. So that's to me how you start developing the discipline muscle, is really the moments when you don't want to do something and then you still do it. I don't want to, because who's the I that doesn't want to is really the content of your past that's created this persona or this image of who Steve is or who Adam is or whoever is, right? And that image won't do that or will do that or whatever. So that's all it is. So it's like, forget about all that past shit and say, what right now can I do? What can I do right in this moment to be more disciplined? And I would say pick one thing. That's what he thinks about my discipline. That was Marty, by the way. But yeah, be disciplined.
What is that even for?
And this is another one for me. I'm going to start saying disciplined about doing this fucking show, to be honest. Yeah. Because it's not that I don't enjoy doing it. It's just what happens to me is I feel the pain. No. I know. So I want to show you something there. Really was Nico. He got bored. He was sleeping. He got up and said, oh, look at Adam sitting on the chair. I'm going to go over and start wagging my tail and go towards him. So I told him no, and he told him no at the same time. So we're not doing affection now. We're not petting. We're not going to do kissies and all this kind of thing right now. We're working. We're doing stuff. Yeah. Sideways. I don't know.
This is Nico and all the guys sleeping.
Yep. So yeah. That's what I would say about the discipline one. Pick one thing, and I would say that it really, before you can really start working on discipline, you got to start working on yourself, but they can be done at the same time. So really learning yourself. And a big thing for me was I wasn't that disciplined. When it came to things that I really wanted to do, I was disciplined. But when it came to things that I didn't really want to do, I'm just not that disciplined, to be honest. So that's what people are going to do. So I would also be questioning, what are the things that you want to become disciplined about? It's another question, right? So is it something, I want to be, because people are very disciplined about eating shitty.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're very disciplined about being lazy. They do it every day. They can do it very well. So it's a lot about things that you don't want to do, I think, too, is a big part. Don't want to, but you want to. So meaning that, I want to be in shape, but I don't want to do these workouts to get in shape. And all that comes down to is effort. People don't want to put in that effort because effort requires it. This comes down to the other thing, which is pain, pleasure, right? Effort is now it can bring pain, but that pain, because the pain pleasure thing has to be balanced, the more pain you give yourself, which can be I'm going to face this thing from my past, can be the pleasure of living a great life too. So other things to think about when it comes to that. Do we have any more?
Yeah, we got a couple more.
We're doing pretty good for a fly by the fucking night. Out of nowhere, we're just going to do one, right?
We're already an hour in, so
okay.
we're probably going to wrap it up here pretty soon. I like this one.
I saw the last one really quick. It said, is use of a prong collar cut? Yes. It's a tool. Tool doesn't do anything to the dog. The handler does.
And we've answered that before too, guys.
If you want to use a prong and it works for your dog, you can use it. And people will say, oh, it's harsh and it spikes and all. Look, studies even show that it can actually be more gentle than a slip lead at times. You know what I mean? So learn how to use the tool. Don't get emotional about the tool and understand how to use it the best way. Because if I just put a baseball bat here and said that can really club people in the leg, or that could really hit somebody's back, or that could really, who's the one using it is the point. You know what I mean? Or it could be put in Mickey Mantle's hand and hits home runs with it. And then it's like, wow, that person really artfully used that tool. So that's what I want people to artfully use a tool. Yeah, just understand the tool. Anyway, what should you do when your pup starts jumping up on the couch all of a sudden? So I don't know if it's the puppy in there. If it's not a puppy, it doesn't look like it looks a little older. But if she's saying pup, this is the hard part when sometimes they ask the question, your pup.
Yeah, is it actually a puppy?
Is this are we talking about a 3-month-old? Or are we talking about a 3-year-old? If they start jumping in to me, it's.
If it hasn't been doing it the whole time, Steve, and all of a sudden it's wanting to, this kid's messing with my light back there. He's laying right on the line.
Yeah, he's on the line.
Yeah, it seems like a more of all of a sudden thing. They weren't doing it before, and now they are.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, like, not to be funny, but like, tell them to not do it. But you know what I mean? Like, no, this is the advantage of no. Claim it. That's all. I mean, that's what, if to my pack, if they were like, hey, what do I do about this? This dog does that. I go, just claim the couch. They would go, okay. And they would just go do it. So how do you claim the couch? Well, I would say, have you claimed other things in the house? So for instance, if I had like, you see me do the videos or put food on the floor, I claim the food, you're not allowed to touch it. So is the dog allowed on the couch ever? So my point is this one where she started bringing the dog on and then came up, or is it like off limits and then all of a sudden started being on limits? Right. If it started becoming on limits, you could put a leash on. The moment they go up on the couch, no, and guide off. This is where I get into like, it's that's why I'm excited to do these Zoom calls, because it'll be way more clear about what the hell this is.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying is like this level of a question. And I understand because they only have this amount of space to do it too. But what should I do? It would be like me asking you, what do I do to get more followers?
Post more.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
don't do it.
It's not just that.
You know what I'm saying? Like post more, but then it's like,
no, it's not
post more quality content. I'd be like, okay, Adam, here's the floor. Describe quality content. You'd be like, fuck, how do I do that? Like, you how do you even? You can't.
Quality subjective.
Who's viewing it and who, like, you know what I mean? So anyway, my point is for this, let's just say it's a dog who's like let's just hypothetically say it's a 2-year-old dog who was normal and all of a sudden now figured this out. This could have been one time you left and the dog said, what goes on up on that couch? I've never actually, and then got up there. And if it starts happening when you're leaving, start kenneling, start doing crate work. That's what I would do. Or you can do, this is a little bit more of like the harsh way to do it, put a scat mat on top. So that's like the one that they use for cats. It's like a little mat that you can plug in and it gives stim, like low level stim when they put their paws on it. And it has it doesn't feel as comfortable on their paws. So you put it on there, they step on it, and then they're just going to get off. And that's one that the environment did it to them. So that means the couch did it to them. As long as you don't say like, oh, or bad boy, or you're related to it in any way. Ideally, you're not even there when that happens. So then this way, the dog says, when I put my paws or invade the space of the couch will correct me and tell me not to be on it. That's really what's happening. Like, the craziest shit is like when we do the one, I want to show that too, about how like we show at Caesar's workshop, how a parrot can claim its space on a pit bull, but its own owner, who's like a 6'4" like man, can't do it. You know, like those are things that people have to understand. And what's the difference? The human's bigger, stronger, smarter. Like, why couldn't it claim space against the? Because of energy, because of uncertainty, because of insecurity, because of fear, because of emotional bullshit that person's bringing with them.
Another practical one could be for the couch. Just put a leash on them if they keep doing it, and you have to keep repeating the cycle.
That's what I was gonna say.
Put a leash on them.
Yeah, put a leash, and then the moment they go up, it's like you pick up the leash. The thing that people have to be careful about with this leash thing, and this is what I want to remind people, just another one, is if you have a dog who's like a little bit more protesty about it, and you just stick the leash on, the problem is he's gonna start learning that when he gets on there, the leash is what gets him off. Right. So meaning that like when you go get that leash, if you get that leash, that gets him off. So that can cause the dog to start not only guarding the couch, but then guarding the leash. So with that, you could either, what I would do in that situation, I would just make a long line. So let the dog carry around like a fucking 15-foot leash for real. Like, and every time it's gone, no, and repeat off. So there's 2 options to doing this. Let me just give them that because then they can decide what they can do. Option 1 is you let the couch do it for you. So that could be like, you could put a vibrate collar on, you could put the scat mat on, there's a million things you could do. You could put it on the floor near it, you can create a boundary around it, and like all that shit you could do. So that's the environment doing it for you. So there's a lot of value in that too. I'll give you that. The other one is you accomplishing it yourself through removing the dog on and off, and then winning the long game doing that way. Where people make an error is they try to win that game in a short game way. So meaning they know, and they try to rip the dog off. Then the dog realizes, all right, you're gonna come at me like this Mike Tyson thing. I'm gonna just react that way and just weather this storm, and then I'll end up back on the couch. There's way more value in picking up the couch and removing them off. No, removing them off. No, removing them off. No, removing them off. There's a lot of value in them. All those repetitions of trying and then giving it up, trying, giving it up, and then they fight and then they give it up, fight and then give it up, fight and then give it up. Eventually, they're like, oh my God, the mind just says, That leader's got ultimate endurance. Not only does it have strength of the mind and strength of energy, but it has endurance too. So that's another way that you can get dog to follow, is by having more endurance than them at a psychological level. Like I could never out endurance Nico, never in a million years physically. He'll destroy me. Psychologically, I can defeat him. And me being the smarter species, more intelligent species, I have to be aware of that and be able to use that to my advantage to lead him in the way. And because I'm the more intelligent species, I should be the one that understands the way he sees the world. Why would it make sense for a dog whose intelligence is less than a human, that they should be the one who takes the brunt of the effort to learn how we are? They've done enough already. They got into our fucking homes, right? Haven't they done enough so far? They give us all these feelings of joy and happiness and living in the moment and all the great shit they bring. Can we learn how they live the world, or see the world, I should say? This is what I want for everybody. And then this is like almost like a public service announcement, is like, what I want people to realize is that what I'm trying to get you guys all to do is have an amazing dog at home, an amazing pet, and have an amazing relationship with that dog. If you're looking for the tightest heel on earth, wrong place. If you're looking for long distance downstays, like to a perfect heel, wrong place. World-class obedience, wrong place. All that like fancy dog trainer, like that's not what I do. I actually will refer people to that stuff if they really want to do that. What I'm going to give you is an understanding of what a dog is, the way they see the world, psychology. And then I want to give you an amazing pet that you can have the best relationship ever with in your home. That, if you decide to go to the next level with, would be using the dog, because you understand them so well, to understand yourself. So we were just talking about before how these guys separately have been helping me. Marty is helping me with my persistence, because he's a persistent little shit at times. And he's like, but he's a bulldog. That's what he's going to do. So he's going to be like, you told me that 7 times. I need to be told 8 times now. No problem. I got you. Nico helped me with my speed of not reacting so fast or getting frustrated. Because if I move a little bit too fast, he moves fast. So I have to focus on really doing it. Dawson's helping me with, again, another level of my sensitive side. It's because this guy can be super sensitive about certain things.
Pushy and sensitive. It's
he's pushy and then becomes sensitive if I put. So yeah. He helps me where or I'm at 0, he can be pushy, and then I go to my level 1, like hey, and he's like, oh wow, this guy's a lot.
He needs like 0.5 on that.
Yeah, one. So I'm learning how to bring my 1 to a 0.5. That's like you kind of said it right there. So I'm bringing it down now where my 0 to 1 is a little bit. And guess what? This shit goes on for life is my point. This is what I want to do with you guys and be on this journey together with, so we can really learn the self. Everything comes through the self. I'm speaking as somebody who seemed like on the surface was a pretty normal person, like grew up in America, grew up in New York area. Parents stayed together. The father businessman, mom stayed at home, played sports, got scholarship. Well, the rest is history, right? But there's a lot of shit that went on there. So I can relate to people who have been through things in life. That doesn't have to be, remember people, that doesn't have to be some like enormous event that happened. Even in childhood, it could be like a slow but steady type of thing. For me, there's a lot of things that I learned about myself when I really started to look at what was happening to me in the moment. And then it got me to look a little bit further into myself and realize, wow, this shit was from when I was a kid. And there'll be Adam will tell you, there's ones where I'm like, this is one that I just realized right now in this moment. We'll be talking about something. And I realized that the way my dad and my mom, my brother, it's like that something happened. I just figured out something myself, but that's like the greatest shit. Like, cause I'm learning the self. And once I know the self, look, the actual final understanding of the self is realizing that it's the whole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that there is really not a self, is removing. And what is the self? Is just memory of past. Because if I remove your memory, there's no Adam anymore. It's crazy to think about that right?
Very crazy.
Then you're just an energy at that point. And that's what I'm trying to get people to see, is that what the dog sees you as an energy. And it's conditioned to what your energy was. So people say, yeah, dogs don't always live in the moment, Steve, because they do think about things from their past and blah, blah, blah. I said, they're not really thinking about it. They're reacting to it based on a past experience. So anyway, we've done this whole part too. I don't want to get into that whole thing I'm going to confuse people if I get into that. But again, I'm really trying to make it clear about what we're doing here. So people are wanting this is what I like. So it's not such a surprise when people come to TCW. Or such a surprise when people come here to work with us. Of like, oh wow, I thought I was going to train a dog, and we're talking about like life and shit here. It's like, I know, because that's what it's about. I'm reverse engineering, and I'm like, oh, you want to train this dog? Perfect. Let me teach you about yourself. Why do you think that works, Steve? I'm the fucking example of it.
You know, we've been talking about the media stuff too, of what you've been doing lately, which is a lot of human-based things.
Yeah.
And we used to do a lot of dog stuff, but we're not doing it as much now. I think if you flipped it to getting people in with the quick tips, stuff like that, like dog-oriented stuff.
Yeah.
We'll bring them back in and then keep sprinkling in the human stuff.
Just reminding them.
Yeah.
That it's like this would be a lot easier if you calmed yourself down. Mm-hmm. This would be a lot easier if you had more confidence. This would be a lot easier if you trusted yourself. This would be a lot easier if you had more respect or self-worth. This would be a lot easier if you had more self-knowledge. It would be a lot easier if you had more self-worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say is like when we say lead your dog, lead your life, the things and qualities that you have to do to lead a dog are going to help you to be able to lead your own life. So my point is this is where Caesar, I was trying to explain this to him, and I'm not sure if he totally understood it. When I was explaining to him, I said, because he was like saying, he's like, nah, Steve, it's reverse. It's lead your life, lead your dog. And I'm like, I agree. You have to be able to lead your life to be able to lead a dog. I'm saying who I'm talking about is the people who haven't been able to lead their life, right? Which in turn means they haven't been able to lead a dog. So if you're saying to them, like, just go lead your life, they don't know how is the point. So how can they help to learn to lead their life? Well, we got to teach them some things, right, about what you can do as a human. And then when we can teach you those things, what you have to do as a human that you can apply to a dog, and then in turn makes your dog that much better and more balanced and gives you a great relationship and a ton of confidence, love, and joy, that ends up being a really amazing part of rehabilitation of yourself. It's not even rehabilitation to me. It's like more of like really, it to a degree is because you're restoring to your former self, but you're restoring to like the before we got all this input from life that got basically stored inside of ourselves, which is all this content and bullshit of our past, all these experiences, things people said about us, traumas, crazy joy, excitements, fears, all that shit. That's like, and then we bring it along. I use the analogy. We have this ridiculous like Christmas tree here. I got like a 12-foot enormous tree. I'm like, picture that tree being like your baggage from your past that you don't want to bring, that like you're carrying around with you. It's there, but most people just don't look at it. So I said, imagine me actually being like, all right, guys, so I'm going to head out now. See you guys later. And I like tie a string to the fucking Christmas tree and drag that shit through the house. Needles are going everywhere. It's knocking shit over. It's slowing me down dramatically. I'm bashing through the front door and all this difficulty, right? The point of that is just the visual of carrying your fucking baggage that you don't want to deal with. Because what would most people say in that moment? Like, what would most people say if you saw me carrying the shit? I was knocking it in. Dude, just leave that shit. Let it go, dude. Let that shit go. Like, why do you have that thing on? Because what most people would say if they were fucking honest with themselves, including myself back in the day, I can't. I'm scared. That's what they would say.
Or some people don't even know they're carrying it.
Yeah, or they're not aware that they're carrying it.
Yeah.
My point is that they were truthful and aware. Mm-hmm, they would say, I'm scared to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah, I know it's there, but then what would that mean for everybody else that thinks this about me now? Oh, that fake side of you and not the real you? You know that's all bullshit? You know you're not living your true self? You know you're not actually living in confidence, love, and joy because you're living this image life? So I'm like literally trying to remove this image of being a dog trainer, an educator. I don't see myself as an authority over any of you whatsoever. I really don't. Even in the business, like in business, I have to. This is where the fucking lines become blurred in business and life and things because I don't see any human as an authority over me, and I don't see myself as an authority over anybody else. In human world, though, man-made world, yeah, there is. There's bosses, there's the CEO, there's presidents, there's all this shit. But nature world, no.
Yeah.
No, I really believe that I could sit with some of the most powerful money, power, and fame people and talk about life stuff and be like, yeah, you don't know about this stuff. And they'd be like, yeah, but you don't know about this money stuff. I'd be like, I've met ones who know all about that shit, and I still don't want to strive to be like them, to be honest. I need this part first, which is to be able to understand the self. It's so hard with language. Now I understand why throughout the history of fucking man, they haven't been able to like there hasn't been this like dramatic shift because it's hard to get like with just the language to say what it is. Like, you know, like I've had experiences using magic mushrooms. That this is like where people talk about using psychedelics and shit. I've had experiences using a magic mushroom and then trying to explain like what I felt, and you can't. Like you're like how the hell do I say this? I felt this like color of blue. It's like, what, dude? Yeah. But but then you look into shit, like people say, this makes a lot of sense. Like the way this, you have your sensories become off and everything, where you see like feelings and like you hear color. You know what I mean? Like all this weird stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a very challenging one that I'm going to be working with you guys till the fucking day I die to help you figure it out, because I'm figuring it out myself and we're on this journey together. So again, I don't feel like I'm the one who's the lecturer, the educator who's telling you how it is. I'm working with you guys to figure this shit out, this whole thing in life. And anybody who fucking sits in front of a camera right now in 2021 or 2022, because today's January, whatever, in 2022 and telling you how it is and they have it all figured out, I would change the fucking channel immediately, because they don't know. They don't. There's no possible way that they know it. They have it all figured out. To me, this thing is limitless and it's never ending, and we should be working together to figure this shit out, not divided and being told from authority how to do it. Fuck that. I'm trying to give you guys ideas so you can go look into it yourself and then start figuring it out yourself. Because I can't give you the answers. You guys got to put the repetitions. Okay. I want to finish it with this part. Two parts. Number one, we're going to have you guys send me a message on Instagram, direct message, if you would like to be featured in our Zoom calls for the show. We're going to answer questions live, right? So that's the main thing. So DM Pack Leader Dogs, and then put in there that you would like to be featured for the Ask the Pack Leader. And I would love to see you video your question. I want you to do that.
Yeah.
Send me a video to the face of your question. Hey, Steve, I'm whoever from wherever. This is the question that I have. I want to see those. I want to see them what they are. So message me those questions. Second part is, so that's going to be going. And the second part is message Caesar told me that he wanted me to make sure that you guys all hear. So this was after I did a live like a few weeks ago. I did like 2.5 hour live. I just decided to just go live and answer questions. So he calls me after. This is the side that you guys need to understand about someone like Caesar, right? This is how much he cares about this fucking mission. He calls me after the live and tells me how much he watched it. He basically watched the whole freaking thing. And because he cares so much about making sure that the message and the mission is continuing on, right? So he wants to make sure that my information that I'm giving is very clear. So he was happy with what I was saying, but he said, Steve, you have to make sure they understand this one critical piece. They have to earn their mastery themselves through repetitions. He said, you can teach them. You can show them things and you can give them ideas and concepts and things they can do, but they have to do it themselves and learn it themselves. So I'm here to do it with you guys because we're all here to do this together. But don't just take what I say and be like, oh, Steve said so I'll just do it. Try it. Look into it. See, does it feel right? Does it feel correct? Is what he's asking me to do with this dog fit into what I'm feeling? You have to learn it yourself, is my point, is understand these things about the self. So the repetitions of mastery have to happen yourself. I can't do that for you. And that's something that was hard for me to learn. I was like, how can I skip the steps? And I see it even worse nowadays with the younger generation, with the 20-year-olds, 20 to 30-year-olds, right? The feverishly trying to find ways to avoid pain and effort. That's what they're trying to do. It's like, and I understand it through social media and Amazon and all these things is quick results, right? Is trying to avoid the effort and the pain where there is no way besides through the effort and the pain to actually get there. So the repetitions have to be done by the self, because within the pain is where you find a lot of value. And pain could just be, I'm confused right now. Pain could be, I don't know. I don't know the answer right now. Pain could be, I don't understand why this dog does this. I don't understand why I do this. That can be pain. But guess what? There's answers there if you don't get frustrated or don't get annoyed or just give up or freak out. Sorry about that. It's like me playing. But it's there. It's there for you if you are willing to do the work.
And this is our new slogan that I just made up on the spot for Ask the Pack Leader Show. Ask the Pack Leader Show, the show where we don't know shit and we find answers together.
Yeah. And for real, it's like, what do I know about life? Like, I know what I've learned in my time here and how much better I feel as a human being right now compared to how I was. And I wouldn't change it for the world. And I can tell you the old version of me looked way flashier, way sexier, way designer. Well, maybe not as sexy, but way designer, way like women and fast lane and all that shit. It looked cooler, but I wasn't happy. If I was truthful, if I was honest, which love is honesty, right?
And it's funny because nobody was actually seeing you back then either.
Yeah. You know what I mean? No one even, yeah, exactly.
Nobody
now
was
when
even
actually
looking at you.
there actually are eyeballs on me, I'm like just myself.
Yeah.
Of like how I'm sharing this journey with you guys.
You're like Steve Jobs with the same outfit all
Yeah.
the time. Same shirt.
You know why I say this shit? Yeah, exactly. You know why I say this shit too? Because I've met a lot of these people online who are also telling everybody what they should be doing.
Yeah. That's the majority.
You know, I meet people like, you should do this, you should do that. And then when I meet them, they're like, they're figuring it out themselves.
Yeah.
But they come from a place of authority, which I do not like. Because nobody's fucking your authority. In man-made world, potentially yes, but like in nature world, not your authority. So your own authority is understanding yourself. The most important conversation in this world that you will ever have is the conversation you have with yourself. That's it.
Yep.
Period. And it takes, I think it was either 13 or 18. I got to remember 13 or 18 times more effort to study yourself than it is to study or observe another. So why are you spending any time observing others when you should really be observing yourself? The only other thing I would recommend to observe would be your dog or people around you to see how do they react, how are they reacting to you? To see. That's an observation you can do to see how they're reacting to you. Because there might be some value in data there that you're like, wow, I see these people all moving away from me. Why are they all moving away from me? Oh, maybe I'm a little intense right now. Something I figured out about myself. I didn't realize how intense I can talk at times, but I had to see. So amazing life that we're on. I mean, if life is about growth, that's what it's all about. All right, let's get these dogs. Dawson, come here. Come here. Say goodbye to everybody now. Show everybody the Cavapoo. Since you were starting shit during the show. You have anything to say to everybody on here? I don't know. You have anything to say? You gonna say goodbye?
We'll get you groomed soon enough, Dawson boy.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I've never had this like poodle mix thing that there's like all these grooming requirements and shit. But like the groomers are telling me like, be careful when to groom and don't get them wet and and then the first cutting of the coat and all that. I said, all right, Cassie. So you wanted this thing? Go deal with that grooming shit on this thing. So just if you guys are getting any sort of like doodles, please understand the grooming requirements that come with these guys. Everyone thinks they're the greatest because, yes, very good, very good. Everyone thinks they're the greatest because they are hypoallergenic and they don't shed. But there's a lot of maintenance that goes into having these guys too, and making sure their coats are good. You know, it's not just like get the dog and do whatever you want. Okay, Marty, you want to say goodbye too? You go. Let's let Marty say goodbye.
He's getting heavy, huh?
His fat ass just woke up.
He's getting heavy.
Holy cow, bro. Yeah, you just woke up. You want to talk to the camera? Talk to the mic? Big man? You're just going to fall asleep? Are you just going to fall asleep? Okay. You're just going to fuck around then? Say bye to everybody on camera. Good boy.
Later, bro.
All right, buddy. All right, guys.
Another good one.
We're
Thank you,
back.
guys.
It was an impromptu one that we just came out. I had to do it or else we would just keep delaying it. So I wanted to just come on and just bang one out. If it was a little unorganized, it is what it is. Deal with it. We're going to get more organized, give you guys more value. Ton of stuff to talk about.
Actually, let's make a choice. Do you guys want us to be organized and not do as many of these? Or do you guys want us to do as many of these as possible
exactly.
and be as disorganized as we want to be?
Yeah.
It could be both, but anyway, thank you guys.
Love
Thanks,
you guys.
Steve.
Have an amazing one. Stay calm and confident. We'll see you guys soon.
Later.
Later.